The honourable member for Morris.
Mr. Speaker, under today's NDP, we have seen the single largest economic and environmental disaster occur. That due to the zebra mussel infestation in Lake Winnipeg, it has been declared, I quote, a lost cause. This government has known since 2009 that this invasive species has entered our watershed, and they have done nothing, Mr. Speaker. Can the minister explain to Manitobans how his government can go from standing on the bow of the SS Minnow and declaring victory last summer to declaring a lost cause this summer?
The Honourable Minister of Conservation.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I want to thank the member for the question. I sincerely thank him because it's very important that we get to repeat the message that Manitobans have to hear. Each and every one of us individually has a responsibility to try and address. Well, if members would like to listen, I will give them the response. The message, Mr. Speaker, is clean, drain, and dry. Each an individual Manitoban with boats, when they leave waters that have challenges with zebra mussels, have to take individual action to make sure that their boats are clean and dry and are safe to transport and put in other bodies of water. So, Mr. Speaker, I sincerely thank the member for the question. It allows me to put that message once again on the record. Thank you.
Honourable member for Morris.
Mr. Speaker, the NDP has always been more interested in headlines than hard work. Will this minister acknowledge that before his government even initiated the $500,000 science project dumping hundreds of tons of potash into Lake Winnipeg, he knew, as noted by University of Winnipeg biologist Dr. Pip, and I quote, that the lake was past the point of saving?
The Honourable Minister of Conservation.
Well, thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm astonished that the members opposite, that they would criticize an action of this government taken to sincerely. Well, they can make all of the noise that they want, but we made a sincere effort last summer to contain the spread of zebra mussels in the 4 harbors in Lake Winnipeg. It was an entirely legitimate act taken in order to try and stave this off. Unfortunately, villagers had already spread into the main body of the lake, and at that point, Mr. Speaker, you're dealing with a different situation, which we continue to do so. And
order, please. The Honourable Minister's time on this question has elapsed. The Honourable Member for Morris.
Mr. Speaker, according to Dr. Pip, and I quote, the problem is irreversible, and in fact, it's a catastrophe, it's a disaster, end quote. While zebra mussels multiply by the millions, so does the cost of the damage incurred. Can the minister provide Manitobans an estimate of the long-term cost implications resulting from his government's absolute failure on this file?
The Honourable Minister of Conservation.
Well, Mr. Speaker, members opposite may be ready to give up on Lake Winnipeg, but this government certainly is not. And if members opposite think that this was something that we just became aware of, they're wrong as well. This is a problem that has been on the horizon for many years when, in fact, my predecessor, the Honourable Cliff Evans, when he was first elected in 1990, the first question he put to the Environment Minister opposite was a question on zebra mussels. So this is a long-standing problem. The provincial government has been engaged for years in the process of communication with the public in order to get them to tread carefully. If members opposite aren't aware of that, then that's their loss.
Please, the Honourable Minister's time on this question has elapsed.